Over a basketball junkie, right? I mean, they live and die basketball.
Both of them have been basketball pioneers, innovators.
First father-son head coach combo in NBA history.
I mean, think of Eric Musselman's 55 years old. 30 years he's been a head coach. Wow. At different, CBA, NBA, NCAA.
Here in the early going. There's a great listen, if you like podcasts, the Hog Pod, Bo Mattingly. Which Mason sat down with him for a good 45 minutes and talked about his development as a player and a person. Guys, he didn't.
See if you can't get Nebo in a little bit of foul trouble. Otherwise, he will bury you down there in the post.
2 hours before the start of the game, Nebo was out working on his shot. We're tied at 5. Joe left open, and that's short. One of the rare misses from him. Let's go back to that play by
career high here last year. Remember, he had 21. Maybe he likes playing at the Bud.
I mean, there's something to that, right? For a guy that blew up in here a year ago.
No question. Every player remembers that kind of stuff.
Isaiah Joe comes up short. Look at the game tonight. You don't see that too often.
I wonder if the early start time played a role here.
Yeah, 6 o'clock local, trying to get everybody here inside of Bud Walton Arena. Joe is short again. The rebound by Henderson.
Favors him catching on the elbow or being able to shoot a trail 3. It's tough to match up with.
Jimmy Whitt. Isaiah Joe bounces off the rim
and he's a great shooter. This is why he does it. He anticipates the jump shot, so he's already left his feet. And then the jump shot guy's already like, oh, my God, I got to shoot it in a hurry. And he might have gotten a piece. If not, he caused that air ball.
Joe, quick trigger. And Pons boards it.
There, you see the box score later. Hey, I made 9 free throws today.
You got to be a good free throw shooter. You got to be able to convert. That way you go in there seeking the contact.
I think everybody on the floor thought something happened. Travel, something.
Yeah, something. It didn't look pretty.
No.
But it's 2 points nonetheless.
Finish the play, and now he's got to get switched off on Jimmy Whitt Jr. The size of Tennessee, though, on the defensive end has been a liability because Arkansas Razorbacks have moved all the big guys around. And they're not big, so they're making the bigs for
the elite athleticism and a great defensive player. Now the whole game has come together.
Yeah, and Rick Barnes told me today, he said, he's just still learning the game.
Yeah.
He's got a long way to go with his knowledge of the game, but very valuable piece to this Volunteer squad.
Isaiah Joe, everything but the finish, and a follow-up spins out for
Pickett high off the glass. Another rebound down for Baylor. Arkansas 5 of 13 from the field to start.
And these are some big Missouri guards. That's another challenge for Jones and Joe is they've got some length for Missouri. Strength and size.
Impressive by the big fella. Head of steam. You see now he needs a little oxygen over on that sideline, but that was impressive. Got to his right hand. Really impressed with South Carolina's defensive connectedness in this first half. Not a lot of open lanes. Great cut there by Isaiah Joe, but there's got to be a Justin Minaya sighting. Hadn't been much A.J. Lawson in the second half either. Good clean look in and out. You've got to crowd the court. Good job there by Lawson, not allowing Isaiah Joe to get off a three-point attempt.
Mike, I think the timeout came, the TV timeout came at the right time for the Razorback team. Bulldogs were on a little bit of a roll, took a bad shot, and now the Arkansas slowly back in, but you got to make those layups.
In transition, layup, no.
Wow.
How many missed layups have we seen in this game already?
And Stewart is so athletic that he was right there. It looked like an easy one.
The bunch, that'll be on ESPN. The nightcap at 8 o'clock. Kentucky's got Texas Tech at 6. These Arkansas Razorbacks will have TCU and Mississippi State.
Step back, good spacing.
It's valuable to have a guy like Whitt Jr. in the middle of the floor.
Joe off the mark. Jones.
Arkansas up by 6. Zach Walker in the game for A&M now, 21 in white up at the top of the key. Shot clock again is a factor on this possession for the Hogs. That 3 is short. Miller with a rebound.
Conversation, at least until Saturday at Texas A&M.
And if you're LSU, you just need to string together a couple of stops. Try to change this from a 4+ possession game to around 2 possessions.
Sounds so simple when you put it that way. Under 4 to play. Mason Jones has 29 points. He'll give it up here. Skip past to Isaiah Joe, contested 3 in and out. And there's one of the...
He's going to give up some size in that matchup, but at 6'3", he has a 7-foot wingspan, which could be a factor in defending Anthony Edwards, but certainly not on that shot.
Here's Witt. He's being defended by Kamara. Mason Jones back to Joe. Shot clock at 3, a little too strong.
Of the must-win situation is weighing on them. Coach Musselman told us today at shoot-around it's not something that he talks to his team about, but these guys know.
Joe hits the deck, and a foul on Crump on the rebound.
And they've had no problem doing that tonight.
Crump. Now Joe. That's off the mark. Harris the rebound. Oh, my goodness! The Ant-Man!
That we would just praise him, and then he would get beat on a backdoor cut.
It's the teammates. we've seen now twice weak side guys aren't even paying attention.
And that is amazing because I mean you're taught that early on. Always have an eye on the ball.
Tough shot, good defense.